So this is a strategic analysis of J.W. Marriott by Kirsty-Jane. Marriott International is now the world's largest hotel company after merging with rival company Starwood. Due to this merging of companies, they now have 30 brands in over 6,000 properties in 122 countries and were reporting revenues of more than $17 billion in the fiscal year 2016. The brand in which I will be focusing on is J.W. Marriott. Marriott International operates and franchises hotels and lodging facilities in the Americas, Europe, Middle East and Africa, the Caribbean and Asia Pacific. J.W. Marriott has over 75 locations worldwide and provide luxury hotels and resorts with simple elegance. They aim to give quiet luxury with paying high attention to detail. Marriott International headquarters are in Maryland, USA, but J.W. Marriott is headquartered in Miami, Florida. The founder of Marriott is J. Willard Marriott, who opened a 9-stall root beer stand with his wife Alice and business partner Hugh Colton in 1927 in Washington, D.C. They then added hot food to their offerings and called it Hot Shops. This then became a franchise. In 1937, they then expanded their business to provide hot in-flight meals for airlines. Marriott made their first step into the hotel business in 1957, which was under the management of their son Bill. And after that, Marriott built their global enterprise under the leadership of Bill, who became CEO in 1972. In 1984, the first J.W. Marriott was opened in Washington, D.C., in honour of founder J. Willard Marriott, who later died in 1985. The current CEO of Marriott International is Arne Sorensen, who first joined the company in 1996, but before he worked for Marriott, he was a partner with a law firm that specialised in mergers and acquisitions. He has now gone on to complete one of the biggest mergers in hotel history by combining Marriott with Starwood, subsequently making them the biggest hotel company in the world. Marriott International does not have a mission statement, but they do have a vision statement, which is to be the world's favourite travel company. Marriott strongly believe in their core values. These core values are: we put people first, we pursue excellence, we embrace change, we act with integrity, and we serve our world. The J.W. Marriott promise comprises of 3 aspects. These are quiet luxury, crafted experiences, and intuitive service. They aim to provide an inviting atmosphere where you can be yourself, experiences where the little touches are exceptional, and they claim to know the difference between serving and crowding, so they give all the relevant assistance without getting in the way. For the purpose of this pestle analysis, I'm going to be focusing on North America. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, is a potential risk to the political environment of the USA as he may reverse current policies. Tourism will not flourish in an environment of conflict or terror. He may also seek to put privatisation of national parks, and this may incur a cost which could deter tourism. There are tensions in relations with Russia and North Korea, so he has to be careful not to start a war. One of the major strengths of the US has been its ability to fight terrorist activity. There is much uncertainty about free trade agreements as he's pulled out of the TPP. Will he build a wall between Mexico and the US? This could directly affect hospitality if he changes immigration and visa fees. The US has one of the most developed economic systems in the world, with the country having a strong position in the manufacturing services and sectors. North America was affected by the worst financial crisis since 2008, but they have since recovered from this. Public infrastructure is to be developed according to Mr. Trump's policies, as he plans to spend $1 trillion fixing this. The US has a high standard of living, ranked 8th on the United Nations 2015 Human Development Report. The United States has an average household net adjusted disposable income per capita of £41,355, and this is good for J.W. Marriott as they encourage indulgence. Hofstede's dimensions say the US has a high score of indulgence, but has the motive of work hard, play hard. Direct spending on leisure travel by domestic and international travellers totaled $683.1 billion in 2016. Millennials are a market they need to consider and ensuring that they have the right facilities to meet expectations. Millennials are the early adapters of technology, and they are the most advanced in social media. Social media influences decision making and gives ease of access to write good or bad comments about a business or product. Mobile payment through social media is a new trend. Technology is deemed to be extremely important in a guest stay. Marriott is also creating the first Internet of Things guest room, which is set to be revolutionary for the hotel industry. So the US has a Clean Air Act, which was introduced in 1970 and is one of the major government initiatives to improve air quality. Marriott have launched a new environmental and sustainable initiative called Serve 360, Doing Good in Every Direction. This is apparently guided by the UN Sustainable Development Goals. The US wildfires are also a big risk, and hurricane season can cause catastrophic damage. There are 3 levels of courts in the US, and business tax is very high and is something that is relatively unique in the US, as they are one of the very few countries in the world which taxes domestic corporations on worldwide income. Many Americans feel that corruption is not being dealt with. So moving on to Porter's 5 forces, threat of entry is low due to the high entry barriers and the market being so saturated. The cost implications involved with starting a new hotel are very high. New entrants have to consider target market and service quality and ensure that they are innovative so that they are able to differentiate themselves to attract customers. Any new entrants are at a disadvantage as most of the desirable locations are already saturated. Threat of substitutes is high as there is many other luxury brands in the hotel industry and most consumers will be swayed towards the best value for money. However, Marriott has such a comprehensive loyalty program, meaning they can retain their loyal customers through incentives. This means that they will have to stay competitive and provide a high quality product to justify their prices. Bargaining power of the buyers is high because of the number of available alternatives. They can demand a lower price or they will take their loyalty elsewhere. The hotel industry has an oversupply, meaning the buyers of hotel rooms are concentrated. If we focus on the target market of JW Marriott, which is a mid-luxury brand, we might assume that if they are willing to pay for luxury in the first place, they might not be too concerned over pricing. However, if we look at the market as a whole, people's expectations are high of luxury brands. So, to justify pricing, they need to ensure that the product and service is of the highest quality. Bargaining power of the suppliers is high because JW Marriott is a luxury hotel, meaning that they have a high standard of service. Subsequently, they will want to employ highly skilled labour, which there are few of. Therefore, the balance of power is with the labour force for them to supply their skills and knowledge, but it means that they need an incentive to work for the company and they can bargain their terms. The rivalry between competitors is high because there are many other luxury brands for them to compete with. JW Marriott's main competitors are Hilton Worldwide, Hyatt Hotels and MGM Resorts. There are strong pressures to sell capacity by price cutting. Customer satisfaction is the key to staying competitive as it encourages repeat business. Marriott has a very strong loyalty program, meaning that they can retain their guest loyalty, but it doesn't mean that they won't be swayed to go to another brand if their offering becomes more attractive. Moving on to opportunities and threats. The opportunities are that there is a global growing travel and tourism industry, and Visa estimates that more than 280 million households will be travelling internationally by 2025. Tourism promotion initiatives by the US government give the hotel industry a great opportunity to increase sales and performance, and President Obama signed into law the Travel Promotion Act in 2010 and believed that this would outline a long-term strategy for increasing both domestic and international tourism. Overall, it seems that though there is a positive outlook for the hotel industry in the US, especially if they continue with strategic initiatives to increase tourism. The threats are vulnerability to terrorist attacks raises safety and security concerns. The Transportation Security Administration is reviewing its screening procedures because of concerns that potential security vulnerabilities could be exploited by terrorists. There is an intensely competitive lodging industry, meaning that they are under constant threat of someone being bigger and better. Changes in laws, regulations could affect the hospitality industry, especially with a president like Trump who is keen to shake things up. Thank you for listening.